Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 262.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
two
crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, if you're new here, please say hi in the comments below.
Now, here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And every Monday, we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time it's the day after St. Patty's Day, you'll be alerted to it.
We had the wrong microphones on.
Do we have no sound at all?
So sorry for the very beginning where it was all muted and stuff. I had the side microphones instead of the front.
Good morning.
So
Happy Monday.
I just noticed up there that we didn't have high sound. So
good save.
Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about our subscribers. Every Monday we like to go live whenever we can, at least, and celebrate our subscribers. We like to pull out different success stories we found on our social media networks, especially our Mighty Networks group, which is where we spend most of our time. But also, for the different comments and things, the way we like to do this is we're going to go through all of the questions and comments we found on our social media for like the first 45 minutes, hopefully. And then the last 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to go through whatever chat there is. So if you have a question, hold off to the very end. Or you can use the super chat function, which is a little $sign down in the chat window. It does benefit the channel, which we greatly appreciate since this is our full-time job. But also, it highlights our screen and lets us know that you have a question.
Thanks, Michelle, for saying we look bright in blue today. Blue is my favorite color on Joe.
I love blue.
And actually, like my favorite color on all the boys, really. It really brings out their eyes in their case. But I'm super stoked about my brand new shirt today. I'm sporting my Performance Gains Nutrition.
It matches your jacket.
Quick dry shirt. And I've got my Citizen Scientist pins on.
Yeah.
Both the OG and the brand new one.
Yeah, so if you didn't see, we put out a video last Thursday, Performance Gains. They changed up the formulation for their energized reds. I really like it. It tastes similar to the old one, but it's not as like chalky. If you saw that video, go check it out if you haven't. But we really like this. People have messaged me like, when can you use it? That's the whole idea, is you can use it before a workout, after a workout, and you can use it to get your day started even if you're not going to work out.
We have like a 14-hour day today, so.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get, this is going to be, hopefully, a shorter than normal Keto Beyond the Couch. Not that we want a shorter than normal Keto Beyond the Couch, but as soon as we leave here, as soon as we're done, we have to jump in the RV. I already have it all set up.
Emotional.
And we are selling our RV today, our RV Eleanor. It is going bye-bye.
Yes.
And so the new owners live down in the Keys. I offered to bring it down to them because I have 2 lacrosse games down in Miami, so it's kind of like double trip.
How often do you buy something and you can see every single change that was made step by step to that thing you're purchasing?
I know, right? The guy's like, can you tell me about it? I'm like, we have an entire series of videos of every upgrade. So,
yeah, that's crazy.
So excited that we've sold it, but sad at the same time because Eleanor has been an amazing RV.
Joy.
But we've got some new and exciting things coming. So if you are into RVing or if you just want to see exploration and how to live life beyond a couch, go subscribe to our other channel. There's a link down below. It's the Two Crazy Campers.
I like what we did there.
And we do a lot of different things there, which reminds me real quick. I know we said we're going to be short, but I did want to mention, there was a comment the other day on one of our videos. It's like, it seems like Two Crazy Ketos is becoming more of a travel channel. It's not.
It's our life.
Two Crazy Ketos has always been about a lot of different things. It's been about full day of eating, reviews, what we eat, education, recipes. But we also do a lot of vlogs, and our vlogs are our life, and we travel a lot because the motto of our channel is to live life beyond the couch. Get off of the couch. Don't lose weight, take back your health, and then stay in your same old routine. You don't have to go camping. You don't have to go cruising. You don't have to go to theme parks. But do something, and we like to document that. A lot of that kind of stuff, the camping is on the other channel, but sometimes they intermingle, but that was by design.
Right.
And the travel things that show up on this channel, a lot of it is different things you can do to live life beyond the couch, as well as what we eat. Like there's the low carb cruises coming up. People are asking, what can I eat on a cruise? How
Right.
can I stay keto? So we will continue to document that on this channel. I did want to say thank you to, I'm not sure who this is, but somebody
have a
gave
name
us
attached to
a
it.
$1.99
Cute
super chat.
puppy.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And then Laura said, good morning, everyone.
Hey,
it was so nice to
Laura.
meet Joe and Rachel at the Collaborative Science Conference.
It was so nice to see you, Laura, to meet everybody in person. I saw Andrew is in here too. So
Dude,
fun.
Andrew, I love reality shows,
Yes.
which is why we're on one. But I love reality shows. Some of them are about drama, and I kind of like to watch drama because it eliminates the drama in my life.
Maybe it just
I get to
lets
live.
you.
I get to live the
different
life of drama,
drama.
but it's not my drama, right?
Right.
But there's this show on the Discovery Channel. It's called, oh my gosh, Bering Sea Gold.
Yeah, you got
and
it.
it's all about like gold miners in Nome. Dude, we have one in our community.
In the Two
Andrew,
Crazy Ketos family.
I probably shouldn't say
Lee?
this, but he's a gold miner.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm learning all about Nome. Super excited about
Yes,
that.
I was just so excited.
Chris said vicarious drama.
Yeah, vicarious drama. That makes sense. But we had such a great time at the conference in Vegas this weekend. And I just wanted to share just one, if I could say one takeaway that I took away from that conference was, and I wrote it down because I'm asking myself this daily now. Am I eating in a way that reflects an appreciation for the knowledge I have gained concerning food?
Mm-hmm.
Because we say when you know better, you do better, but I do know better now. Am I doing better? Am I living in a way? Am I even eating in a way, I think for me personally, that reflects worshiping God? Like I can worship God in my eating. I can be thankful. I can say thank you that I know what ingredients are good for my body. And we're continuing to gain knowledge, and so much knowledge was gained at the Vegas conference. Absolutely incredible. But then am I coming home and eating like I know better?
Yeah.
That's a challenge. You know, we can continue to do better personally with our N=1 experiment of like what is good for me. And it was really nice to talk to so many people, and they shared what was good for them. What are some of the things that they found out about their unique selves experimenting as citizen scientists themselves?
Now, we did get a couple of emails like, is our talk going to be available online? So Chris Bear generously donated his time and recorded everything for Dave. Now, what they're going to do with that, I'm not quite sure. If they're going to break it into videos or just release it as one big video, I'm not sure. But what we're going to do is our talk, we're going to re-record it here in the studio as a video for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell notification so that you're notified when that video goes live. Let's move right into Keto Beyond the Couch. We're going to start off with our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. It is Debbie. This was an inspirational quote she put up. Said, quote of the week, health isn't about the weight you lose, but the life that you can gain. Have a badass week.
I wish that for everyone, that it's just awesome sauce. Like however you want to phrase that it's an awesome week, and that what have you gained in life? A lot of times when you start a new way of eating, you kind of note the deprivation. You note what you don't have access anymore. What have you gained though? What have you learned? I can say right off the bat, my palate, my enjoyment of food, my tastes are no longer muted by sugar. Have you noticed that? Do you notice that?
Yeah,
I will eat a lettuce leaf and it tastes amazing.
A couple of weeks ago, you ate like an entire head of cabbage, just plain, uncooked, just munching on cabbage.
I have no explanation for this, except for it was very tasty because I can taste all the little nuances of food.
Okay, so the $1.99 super chat, I was trying to ask a question about Vital Weekly at the same time, but I sent it before I typed my message.
No worries.
I'll have to go in. If you can repost that so that I don't have to go back through the chat, we will answer it after the first break. So let's move on. Our first subscriber of the week is
Gaines.
Hey. When the pounds are coming off slowly, You don't notice changes week to week, but pictures can be motivating. I started 15 months ago. I've lost 122 pounds so far, and I've been a scout leader since my son was in first grade, and he just got his Eagle Award this past weekend. Here
Wow.
is a photo from the ceremony. I just stick to less than 20 carbs per day, and I'm blown away with the difference in how I feel.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations on that and for your son as well. And thanks for boiling it down to super simple. Like there was a keto journey in like a sentence. I keep the carbs under 20.
Yep.
Boom. Firecracker, right?
That's
Like,
right.
and look at these amazing results. So proud for you.
Next one we have is from Katie.
Hey, Katie.
Katie, very simple. I had to lower my weight on my driver's license today.
Yes, I love that. I had to lower my weight, not lie on my weight.
Right.
That was my past, right? I had to lie on my weight for my driver's license today. That's pretty awesome.
Now we say all the time,
Congratulations.
please share your story. Your story is super important. Head over to our Mighty Networks group. If you're not a member of it, I don't understand why not.
Why not?
Because it is completely free. You can join there at members.2crazyketos.com. We've set it up to be an entire community. That is where we spend most of our time. We prefer Mighty Networks over the other things because there's no advertisements in there. There's no bots in there, any of that kind of stuff. And then if you want to support us financially, you can also join in there for $5, $10, or $25. And we're doing live streams and things in that. So a lot of our bonus live streams, not our regular ones here on our channel, are going to be within the Meatheads group over there, but then we have lots of free things as well.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. Like, I know that it's something new to learn. And that could be a pain in the buttocks
Right.
to be like a new social
But it's
media
easy
platform.
to find. Members.2crazyketos.com.
But I'm worth it. I'm worth learning
you
new
or
things.
people?
Access to me, Joe.
Oh.
I'm starting to value myself. I hope you're valuing yourself in a new and better way. And I'm starting to realize that I'm over there hanging out, and it's worth learning a new thing to come
So
hang
they
out
can
with
hang
me.
out with you.
Come
Okay.
hang out with me. It's worth it.
Let's take a quick fade to black.
I used to not believe that in the past, Joe.
Well, I know that. You used to always put yourself down
Right.
and everything else.
I'm
I was
worth
looking
it.
for the question on wheat gluten, but I still don't see it. Okay, we're going to move on. Our first comment from last week is from the Songbird62.
Hey, Songbird.
I'm a ketovore and a type 2 diabetic. I've been stalled with my weight and my A1C levels for about a year. My doctor switched me from Trulicity to Mounjaro. I don't even want to tell my friends because I'm afraid that they think I'm a fraud.
No.
But it's just helping me with my hunger, mostly mental, and I'm still eating ketovore.
I don't want you to feel badly
I
about
have
yourself.
Two quick comments on this. Number one, tell your friends to take a giant leap
Off a short bridge?
off of a short pier.
Short pier.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to worry about you and not what everybody else thinks. And if using Mounjaro is helping you, who gives a damn what they think?
Joseph Stauffer. I'm getting the soap.
That's fine.
Don't make me get
But
the soap.
I'm passionate about this, and this is something that came up over and over again, even at the Collaborative Science Conference, is like we have to focus on us. You know, people ask us, how do I get my friends and my family to eat this way because it's better for us? First, you have to use you as an example, and you're going to have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and beyond the norm. So don't worry about that. If it's helping you, then don't worry about what they all think. And they don't need to know everything you're doing. If you go to your doctor, I never suggest telling your doctor you're eating keto. Tell your doctor you're eating, I'm eating whole foods. I'm eliminating the pasta, the grains, the sugar, and the carbs and overly processed foods. They don't need to hear the word keto because that alone many times will send people like screaming that you're going to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, the second thing is I am going to encourage you to please research Mounjaro and all of those different medications that are being used for off-label use. Mounjaro and products like it are a wonder drug when used as intended. But for weight loss, that's not how they were intended, and there is more and more research coming up that is showing that there are some serious health consequences to using it off-label, i.e. for weight loss, and it becomes a thing that it is very difficult to get off of. It was actually a subject of one of the talks at the collaborative scientists conference, that it becomes a lifetime thing. And that's why it's not a great solution for weight loss, because it's a lifetime thing. And we need to find a way that we can maintain our weight and our health without having to take a bunch of stuff. So please, 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 for your own self, research all of the major side effects and minor side effects that come from that. Next one is from Sherry.
Hey Sherry, I have a theory on weight loss stalls. People figure out how to manipulate their new eating style, aka triple B and E, into a license to eat and eat and eat as long as it's on the list. This happens with Weight Watchers 0 Point Foods, which most are foods part of keto: eggs, low-fat meat, fruit, and bags of vegetables. Watching people eat all the toppings of a Sam's Club pizza and 4 hot dogs to celebrate carnivore sounds delicious. However, personally, is a binge waiting to happen. Your thoughts, please. Thank you for being so real and honest.
I couldn't agree more. That's my thoughts.
Well, I think that it is important for us to be testing hunger and satiation cues. I think that while you're doing something like triple B and E, on the one hand, you are eliminating some noise, but I don't think that we need to go la 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 in the midst of that noise being eliminated and act like we don't know when we're authentically hungry, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that we need to use these things responsibly no matter what. I think they're great tools, but I think we do need to have eyes and ears on what our body is saying to us.
Yeah. Now, first of all, I do want to say, be clear. Sam's Club pizza toppings is not part of triple B and E, because triple B and E is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Okay,
Right.
And beef being any type of ruminant animal. So anything dairy is not BBB and E. But it is a problem, not as much with beef, butter, bacon, egg, if you're doing it the way it was designed, which is you're going to eat as much as you want, but you're going to eat until you are
Take that down, because it's
full.
causing a, if we leave it up, it causes us to stall or to freeze.
Well,
rather.
we're going to shift over here then,
Okay.
because it says excellent connection.
I know. It's like it's got to be something with the computer program, because as long as we don't have that slide up,
it makes no sense.
it makes no sense. See, we're back. 'Cause
Okay.
it's off.
So yeah,
Sorry
we'll
about that,
fix
guys.
that. So basically, when it comes to beef, butter, bacon, egg, you're going to eat as much as you can until you're full, but then you're not going to eat again, and that's going to help you get in touch with satiation. But you do see this with keto a lot. People think, like, I have a license, nuts or keto, so I can eat as many as I want.
That hasn't worked out so well for me.
That's just not the case. You have to still watch what you're eating. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these over here.
Okay.
So we're on the third one. So there we go. Okay. And we'll just increase it. So the next one is from Sally.
Hey,
Sally
Sally.
said, I'm not a fan of cruising simply because of the luggage fiasco and getting on and off of the boat. The whole safety thing before you leave seems to take forever. It's been 20 years since I've cruised. This may have changed. I wish it were easier. I live vicariously through your adventures.
It's a
Good
lot
news,
more.
Sally, it has changed. You
More
never took cruises in the past.
No, I didn't. And I will say that, like, from what you're saying, though, it was a lot more streamlined. Now, one thing that you can
No,
do.
it is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's if you are not like Rachel and overpack and don't need, like, you can go ahead and use like a carry-on. You never need to even worry about what we ran into.
Well, again, you never cruised before, but it used to be very long lines to get on the ship.
Right.
And then you had to go to a muster station and you had to do a whole drill, and it took forever. So if you haven't cruised in a while, it's much better now. And I mean, my last cruise before we started cruising together was more than 20 years ago. So I know what she's talking about with the long lines on and the long lines off and all that. That doesn't exist anymore. Now you are going to go, you're going to basically when you check in, you pick a time slot. We usually look for the earliest slot possible, usually between 11:30 and 12 o'clock. You're on the ship within 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's
You
fast.
drop off your luggage. If you're not going to carry your luggage on, they get it to your cabin. Before you get on the ship, there's a little like thing on your app. You watch the safety drill on your app. And then as you walk on the boat, you go right to your muster station. They go, ding, you know where it is, and you're on. So
Yeah.
the whole process from the time you get there and go through the baggage check where they screen your carry-on, it's maybe 25 to 30 minutes till the time you're sitting in the windjammer eating. That's how
Right.
easy it is. Getting off the ship, even easier so long as you're traveling with a passport.
That's what I was
You
gonna
don't even have to
say.
get checked in. Now we have facial recognition. So you walk off, they scan your pass, you walk through. And if you're not carrying your if you're carrying your luggage off, you just walk off with it. If you're having them take it off, you put it outside your cabin the night before and it shows up outside unless you of course miss it like we
Definitely,
did.
I recommend getting a passport over bringing your birth certificate.
Don't travel with a birth certificate.
Yeah.
Just I'm going to tell
Lines
you.
were longer for
If
that.
something happens and you have to leave whatever port, maybe you get injured or you miss your ship, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars and you have to go get visas. Get a passport.
Get a passport.
It's like $140 and it lasts 10 years.
Yeah.
Next one is, oh, I got to put it here. From Deanna.
Hi, Diana.
Hopefully someone will see this and let me know, but I'm looking to go on the cruise with my 10-year-old son. I'm assuming he will be
Nice.
counted as 2. Also, when does the balance need to be paid in full? So yeah, so all of the prices that you see on the website for the 2K Kid Getaway Cruise, it's per person. I have both prices there, so how much it is for each person. That includes all of your taxes and your port fees. The only thing it does not include is gratuities. And then I also have how much it is for the whole cabin. If it's just you and your 10-year-old son, you'll pay the price that's on the website. We don't have cabins for 3 people, so you would have to get a second cabin, or I could manipulate things with Royal Caribbean, but they charge more money. If you have, in any other cruising, 2 adults and a 10-year-old, the 10-year-old only has to pay port fees and taxes. If you wanted to do that for the 2KK cruise, I would have to call them and see what kind of pricing they would give me because they only give you group pricing for 2 people in a cabin. Next one is from Sammy.
Hi, Sammy. Does being on keto increase A1C? I have type 2 diabetes and have heard eating protein does increase sugar levels.
Okay, this leads us to today's topic. And this was discussed at the Collaborative Science Conference. Your A1C and your insulin does not go up eating keto. It's counterintuitive. You're not eating sugar. Now, if you eat tons of protein and no fat, you could have a higher blood glucose. But if you're a type 2 diabetic, you're already going to have a high A1C. So eliminating all of that sugar is going to bring it down. Bringing it down even more would make sure you're incorporating fat. You should be eating a moderate amount of protein, not an excessive amount of protein.
Now, I want to add to that when you say you're eating keto, we're discussing a whole foods approach to keto.
Yes.
Not a way of eating comprised solely by keto,
Keto
marketed
cereals.
foods. So we're talking about eating your meat and chopping up vegetables and like actually a keto way of eating, not something. Now, if you're going to incorporate things like keto breads from the store, keto tortillas, that sort of thing, you may get into trouble.
Yeah.
You may see some issues.
Now, we again are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. Everything we talk about is based on our own personal knowledge, what I learned becoming a certified master health coach, as well as talking to people who are doctors, nurses, and health professionals. Dr. Berry has loads of videos on this topic. So does Dr. Boz, Dr. Sivas, Dr. Lenskis. Lots of videos out there about this within the keto space. And Dr. Berry specifically addresses eating protein. You need protein, but you should not be eating gobs and gobs and gobs of protein without eating any fat. That could possibly result in an elevated glucose, but again, nothing compared to the standard American diet. The most important thing is your body's being fueled by fat, so give yourself some fat. You need to have that. But I would go check out some of those videos. But just in itself, eating a true ketogenic way of eating, whether it be keto or carnivore or ketovore or whatever you want to call it, is naturally going to be lower in sugar, which should lower your A1C. And the best thing to do is go get yourself a CGM.
Yeah, that's a great way.
Okay. Next one is from Ellie.
Hey, Hey, Ellie.
Joe, you're a lucky man with a sweet and drop-dead gorgeous wife who's
Aww.
managed to muster de-aging. You're no
Wow.
slouch either, but I'm just gonna gobstruck by every video I watch here where Rachel looks younger and younger. You guys are a power couple ambassadors of the lifestyle for sure. Sparkle on Rachel and Joe.
Okay, Ellie, you are my official best friend. Officially. Thank you. Gosh, boy, did you like set my Monday on a happy journey.
And I know that I'm lucky. I know what
well,
I got.
I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky.
And I knew what
You're
I
a good
had
man.
before we got married. When we started dating, I literally, from the day I met her, never let her out of my sight. I like, we're dating every single day so you never have a chance to go talk to anybody else. Because I knew I wasn't the catch and she
You
was.
are a catch, but I appreciate the fact that you love me so good. And that was 300 pounds. We've loved
That
each
was.
other in thick and thin.
Let's take a quick fade to black.
How was your St. Patrick's Day? Mine was seen behind my two eyelids. I had a live stream in the Mighty Networks, and then afterwards I thought I was going to lay down for just a minute, and then the next thing I knew, my alarm was going off, and it was morning.
Next one, nope, wrong one. The next one is from Melinda.
Hey, Melinda.
In my previous keto journey, I tracked and it was a bit tiring for me. Can you be keto and not track and actually lose weight? Am I setting myself up for failure? I know keto foods and stuff very well. It's just the weighing and the measuring that I've come to really dislike. Also, tracking means I have to weigh occasionally, and that is something I really want to avoid. Any suggestions or advice? It's going to depend on what kind of keto you are doing. So, I do suggest, at least for a week, anybody who is getting started on keto, or maybe you're in a stall, for a week, track what you eat. Don't eat to tracking.
Right.
Just track what you eat. Whatever goes in your mouth, you track it.
Look backwards.
This way, at the end of the week, you can look back and be like, oh,
that's what got me full.
I see what's going on now. If you're eating a true ketogenic way of eating or carnivore, you should not have to track. So long as when you sit down to eat, you are eating until you're full and you are not snacking in between meals. So you're going to eat 2 or 3 meals a day. I'm not a proponent of OMAD, especially on a long-term basis and especially on women. Dr. Berry has videos about that. There's lots of videos about that, actually. It's not good hormonally for women. But if you're going to eat 2 or 3 meals a day and you do not snack in between, and a snack, one nut is a snack. Every time you eat, you have an insulin reaction. No matter what you eat, you have an insulin reaction. You're going to release a little bit of insulin. You cannot lose weight in the presence of insulin, so that could present problems. But if you eat until you're full a couple of times a day and you're eating whole foods, meat, maybe a little bit of veggies, you shouldn't have to track. The second you start adding other stuff in, nuts, keto chocolates, keto cereals, snacking, now you're going to have to track. Yeah. So if you're going to do it properly, you should not have to track. But the second you add anything else in, you're going to need to track because, again, you're changing things from the way we were designed to eat. The next one is from Christy.
Hey, Christy, I don't weigh often, but I just did, and I'm down 8.1 pounds since the beginning of January. That's fantastic. I'm reminding myself that slow is best. I actually think, Christy, that that's a great way to utilize the scale. If you're doing something like this, it's almost like you've worked into a quarterly weigh in. So what happens when you do that, you're eating every single day like you know what you should be eating, right? And you're doing that thing. And then yes, that is reflected on your scale. You're seeing it quarterly. And isn't it nice to look at it now and see an 8-pound drop instead of chasing back up and down that daily 2 ounces, 4 ounces that we see when we're weighing daily? Like, I think that you're able to look at this quarter and see, okay, from January, it looks like I am indeed having some good success. I think that that's a great way to utilize the scale.
And I do want to say, I personally I don't know why I'm so froggy today. I didn't eat any cheese.
The only thing is, it's all that travel. I'm telling you, it takes it out of us.
So 8 pounds is nothing to sneeze at. That's a pound a week.
That's a
a
lot.
pound a week. That is a perfectly normal, healthy weight loss. when you see people say I dropped 10 pounds like I did when I first got started, that's because my eating lifestyle prior to keto was so off the rails and so full of sugar and pasta. I mean, I pretty much ate like a loaf of bread a day. You're going to drop a lot of water weight. I didn't lose 10 pounds of fat. Okay.
Right.
A healthy weight loss is a half a pound to a pound a week. And that's what we need to focus on. Don't focus on people who lost 100 pounds in the first 60 days, because a lot of it is water and it will slow down for them. So, when you look at it, I wouldn't worry about it. One of the things when if you lost a pound a week for an entire year, that's 52 pounds in a year. Most people on a standard American diet who go on a diet can't lose 52 pounds because they give up long before that.
Right. Well, and also I find that when I was weighing in daily, when I would be slightly disappointed, and you want to say oh, it's fine, it's just a number, I'm not okay. But if you do not see stuff happening in a quick way, you get your weigh-in number and a spoonful of disappointment that you're ingesting. Okay. Yeah. Let me have from January until today, 1 spoonful a day of disappointment. What does that weigh?
Yeah.
How does that weigh on just your soul, right?
Next one is, I keep looking over there, is from Melinda.
Hi, Melinda.
Well, I'm back after a few years off keto. I was a member back in 2021. I'd lost 90-ish pounds, but put my fibromyalgia on the back burner.
Way to go.
I lost my mom in 2021. It threw me
no.
into binge eating. I'm just now overcoming that, and I need to feel better. Yes, I regained all of my weight. It's the fibro pain that is killing me. I've decided not to weigh at all because it affects my mental status way too much.
Yep.
I have missed this keto community, and I am ready to make this way of life again.
Melinda, we're so glad that you're back. I am so terribly sorry for the loss of your precious mother. It's not surprising that you've grieved through this time, and grief looks differently to all different people. So I'm really glad that you've at least taken your time to mourn the loss of your mom. You're coming back to prioritize your own personal health. I think that deciding for yourself that clearly, a lot of times people don't ask themselves, what is the priority when it comes to the way I'm eating? Is the priority weight loss, or is your priority health gain? For you, you have clearly delineated that while you would like to have some weight loss, the priority is health gain. So therefore, you are going to eat in a way that is going to help reduce those fibromyalgia symptoms. So you're going to need to eat very, very clean, right? You're going to have to eat in a way that you're not adding a lot of inflammation into your daily eating. What's going on in the scale right now is irrelevant. We're trying to manage the pain. We're trying to eradicate the pain. And I think that that's brilliant that you see that is important.
Next one is from Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Jennifer said, comments from my overprotective son before keto.
Aww.
I was worried you weren't at home on the couch, where you always are.
Wow.
His comments on carnivore, I'm not sure I like your new superpowers. By the way, he's followed my lead and now he's carnivore. He wants superpowers.
Wow. Gosh, is that a victory post or what? Congratulations, Jennifer, because I know as much as you want to live your best life, you certainly want your son to have all those superpowers. I love that. So good.
Next one is from Sonia.
Hey, Sonia, I'm hoping someone has some insight into this. I feel like I'm always second guessing myself. Fasting. When you fast, how do you figure out how much to eat in your eating window? I'm fasting and eating OMAD. I'm usually just eating until full, but I've figured out I'm actually eating all my daily calories in one meal. So negating my fast. I'm not losing any weight fasting. I'm watched videos, and nobody that I've found talks about how much you should eat other than Dr. Fun, who mentions your body will use burned calories from your storage and you should eat a normal meal in your window. So my question is, how much do I eat in my one meal to lose weight fasting? What is a normal meal?
Okay, Sonia, I'm not discrediting Dr. Fun, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that he talks about. For me, you have to remember some of the people he's trying to treat. There are a lot of videos about this from Dr. Berry and other physicians as well. my personal opinion, and from everything that I have studied and what we've encountered with our own coaching clients, is number one, I don't believe you should be mixing fasting with OMAD. Number two, OMAD I do not think is good for women, especially long term. You cannot consume enough food in a single meal to give yourself all of the vitamins and nutrients. In that one meal, it's going to be very difficult. You need to get your nutrition, you need to get your protein, all of the vitamins, the nutrients, the minerals, everything, and you really can't do that in one meal. It could be, without seeing everything and what you are eating, you're simply not eating enough, and that's why you're not losing weight. You're in a stall. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but our body wants to be in homeostasis, which means it wants to burn what it gets in. It doesn't want to store anything unless it has to, and it doesn't want to not have enough. So in order to get itself going, when you first go on a diet and restrict the amount of food you're eating, whether it be through fasting or OMAD or whatever, you will lose weight because your metabolism is here and your food is here, and it will tap into, as Dr. Fung talks about, your fat stores. But your metabolism is this really cool, unique living thing, and it adjusts. And it adjusts to how much you're giving because it doesn't know how long is my reserve going to last, how long am I not going to get enough food. So what ends up happening is here's your metabolism, here's your food intake. Slowly your metabolism comes down to match your food intake, and that's where we hit a stall. And at that point you have two options: lower your food intake even more because now your metabolism's here, or the better way to do it is raise your food intake, but you raise it slowly, then your metabolism comes up, then you raise it slowly, your metabolism comes up, you raise it slowly, you do that over about 8 weeks. Then what do? You lower the food you eat. Now look where your metabolism is, look what your food intake is. It's very difficult to do that on an OMAD. The other thing is for OMAD, lots of videos about this, it can really affect a woman hormonally. And
Yes.
It's not a great idea.
Not in a great way.
So those are some of the things you need to look at. But how much food should you eat? As Dr. Berry says, you're going to eat whole foods, meat, maybe a little bit of veggies. You're going to eat till you're full.
You know, it's, again, our ultimate goal is to be in touch with our body, to listen to our body and what it needs from us, because if there's an emergency situation, we want to know it, right? We want to have good conversations with our body. And if we are putting ourselves into a situation where hey body, you're only allowed to ever eat every other day, and you're only ever allowed to have one meal on that day that you're allowed to eat. That's a lot of shushing.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It causes binging of things that we shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
All of that.
That's hard. And you think about what is the long-term plan years from now? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you see yourself still only ever eating every other day one meal?
Right.
That's hard to think about in the future. If we're thinking about it, not today. Yes, we're making decisions within this 24 hours, but it is going to affect us, our relationship with food, our relationship with ourselves, our schedule in 5 years, right?
Yeah. I mean,
there is a tomorrow.
I am not a proponent of an eating window type of thing. 18-6 kind of thing. Because what happens is some people use that as, well, I'm not eating for 18 hours a day. I am eating for 6 hours a day. So I can eat as much as I want, as many times as I want in that 6 hours. The goal is 2 or 3 meals. That's it. So if you want your 2 or 3 meals to be in your 6-hour eating window, that's fine. In a 6-hour eating window, it's usually going to be 2 meals. But you eat, let's say, you eat at 2 o'clock, then you don't eat again until 6 o'clock. It's not from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I eat whatever I want, and I can just eat continuously for the 6 hours. That'll get you in trouble as well. You eat your lunch, you eat till you're full, then you're going to take a 4 or 5 hour break. You're going to eat again, probably less if you really ate till you're full in your first meal, then you wait till your next day. I'm more of listen to your body though, And if sometimes you may want breakfast and sometimes you may not.
Oh, I see Sonia's here. She says, thank you for answering my questions. I'm post-menopause and eat carnivore.
That's awesome.
I love that I'm in the same boat. Team post-menopause. We cool.
Next one is from Kristen.
Hey, Kristen.
I have a question. I have been slowly gaining weight. I know some is muscle, but not all. I'm eating about 1,500 calories a day because I am not hungry. I have 6 pieces of bacon a day, 1 serving of egg pudding with keto chow, 2 eggs, 1 small piece of 100% chocolate, 6 ounces of beef for dinner. I add butter to my black coffee. Any ideas of what I can change? Again, you don't have a lot of information here. 1,300 and 1,500 calories, in my personal opinion, is on the very low end. That's probably where you would end and then start going back up again. But how are you eating that over 6 hours? Doesn't seem like it's a lot of food, and it's certainly not a lot of whole food.
Right.
And if you're gonna have a keto chow, have a keto chow. Whether it be a creamy or a drink or something like that. That's your meal. That's 500 calories right there. Then 6 ounces of beef, not a lot. Eliminate the chocolate. Eat 1 or 2 meals and then still, be at 1,500 or more calories, but in 1 or 2 meals instead of the little bit of picking here. Again, every time we eat, if you're picking, okay, well, right now at 1 o'clock, I'm going to have 3 pieces of bacon, and then in a half hour or an hour, I'm going to have another piece of bacon. Every time you eat, you're having an insulin reaction.
Right.
And you need, the goal is just a couple of insulin reactions a day. My phone is going off the hook. My lacrosse assigner is calling me. Next one is from Janice.
Hey, Janice. Went to the doctor yesterday for my annual physical. I had prediabetes, obesity, fibromyalgia, and Hashimoto thyroid disease and am 67 years old. Last January 2023, I got angry with the medical and pharma industries and decided to fix myself. After just over a year of a keto carnivore diet, I am only on Synthroid, and my doctor was excited and told me to keep it up. Prediabetes gone. Fibro has subsided. Have lost 30 pounds. This year, I am adding movement thanks to listening to Rachel. Moving forward, thanks to you all. Slow progress is still progress. Again, thanks all for the daily inspiration.
This goes back to
Janice.
It goes back to our Keto College Adjunct Professor of the Week. It's not about weight loss.
No.
Look at this.
That was absolutely...
You're a citizen scientist. You're showing your doctor you can fix this with diet.
That was absolutely something that was brought up all throughout that weekend, was just this thought that eating this way because you're only interested in weight loss. It's kind of, because when you're only interested in it from weight loss, it becomes subjective as to whether or not you should continue eating this way, right? Because you're thinking, do I need to lose weight right now? Or, is there nothing on the horizon and I can kind of check out and eat the way I used to eat and, just eat all the things, because it's a weight loss issue. But it's trying to fixate on that weight loss is like bending down in a street to look at a tiny crack while there's a Mack truck coming. There's so many health issues that keto has spoken into in our life. We see, certainly that's what you're sharing, Janice, is what this way of eating can do for your health. So the weight loss is so pitifully secondary. It's here is your health concerns, and down here below the table is, oh yeah, and it also helps for weight loss.
Next one is from Amanda and Robert.
Hey guys.
In Orlando for a church conference, forgot snacks. All junk available here. I'm so thankful for keto making fasting easy. No hangry, no worries. I will eat when I eat. No problem.
I love that too. That's pretty awesome.
And that was something that we found when we were filming RV Unplugged.
Gave us a competitive edge for sure.
Now, I think that there are plenty of foods if you look around. You may not at the conference, but when you go outside.
Yeah.
The other day we got back late from the conference. I'm like, I'm hungry. I was hungry. Everything in Vegas is super expensive. I don't know where we stopped someplace. Rachel's like, why don't you get Jack in the Box? Because I hadn't eaten. And I'm like, I'm not paying $12 for a burger. That didn't even have buns, and it's going to be it's fast food. I just went to 7-Eleven. I had 2 hot dogs.
Right.
And
roller dogs.
$4.
It was Princess roller dog.
Great. Next one is from Hopsy.
Hospy? Hello.
So I am not in ketosis. I'm eating keto. I've upped my protein intake. I'm attempting to ramp up my caloric intake. I'm stressed. My sleep schedule is way off. Migraines a lot lately. Can lack of sleep and stress kick me out? I'm seriously at a loss. Well, it depends on what you're saying. Not in ketosis. If you're saying like the meter is saying you're below zero point 0.5, but it's still showing 0.3, you're still in ketosis. Your body's making ketones, and actually making ketones is ketogenesis.
Well, you're not getting them any other food.
Ketosis is your body utilizing ketones. There's really no. The only way to know if you are in the true definition of ketosis, which is your body utilizing ketones, is using a very good, expensive breath meter and doing it appropriately, which is very difficult because that's going to basically come out of your lungs and show you're burning fat. Very hard to use those properly, which is why blood test is the next best, but that's just showing presence of ketones in your blood. Doesn't tell you if you're using them. Your body will use them even if you have them throughout the day, and there will be times where your body's not using them because your body does need to have some sugar, which it can make. But to answer your question, yes, lack of sleep and stress will lower your ketones. It will affect your weight loss. Most of your weight loss will happen while you're sleeping, and it could take days to recover. This is my biggest issue, is it can take days to recover from one bad night of sleep. One bad night of sleep could take days to recover your health.
So if they're stacking up,
and like if you're like me and you're sleeping 4 or 5 hours, and then you go a day where you don't sleep, you're screwing yourself, which is my problem.
And here's the thing, I understand. I totally understand because I've gone through a stress management journey my personal self. That if you look at it in a big picture, like I'm so stressed and my sleep is so jacked, and you just see this as this big giant in front of you, you do not know how to handle this elephant rather. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yeah.
Right? One bite at a time. So there is something within this 24 hours of the day that you can do to get yourself 5 more minutes of sleep and reduce your stress by a pinch. Right. We're not talking about handling the whole elephant at once, because what happens is that you just get like analysis paralysis. Like I can't move forward at all unless I can completely eat this elephant in one gulp. You can't. You cannot eat this elephant in one gulp. Right. So you've got to take it one bite at a time. So what is the bite that you can take out of stress today, and what is something that you can do when it comes to sleep?
Now, 2 other things that you mentioned in there real quick before we get into the last comment is if you're upping your protein and not upping your fat, that can actually lower your level of ketones. To get into a deeper level of ketosis and ketogenesis, you need to have a high amount of fat intake and a moderate amount of protein. The second you bring it up and you're eating just as much protein as fat, your ketone levels are going to go down. Your blood sugars are going to go up because you need the fat. And when you don't have the fat, your body will use the protein. Does it use the protein for fuel unless it has to? And it does that when you're not consuming enough fat. Also, eating more food. The less food you eat will result in higher ketones. But also remember this. Higher levels of ketones does not equate to more or faster weight loss.
How cute is Trish saying, how do you eat an elephant? Slow cooked with butter, of course.
Last one is from John.
Hey, John.
Said you can eat a bowl of cornflakes with no added sugar, or you can eat a bowl of sugar with no added cornflakes. Metabolically, they are the same.
Amen. Wow. Is that right on? Like, you got it. You nailed it.
It's true. I was talking to my sister yesterday, and she was watching a video, and it was talking about the fact that like there's no difference between a sugared cereal and Cheerios. Growing up, my parents never let me have, corn pops or Frosted Flakes because they said that's garbage. Turns out Cheerios and Bran Flakes, same thing. Yeah. It gives you the same thing. To me, in my opinion, and we did this to our kids. Can I have a jelly donut for breakfast? No, have some cereal.
That's better.
I should have had him have the cereal.
I loved Peter Bauer said, like, I love him. If you're not watching him, you got to check him out. Just so informative. He's absolutely an expert on ruminant animals and also like the grazing lands. But he talked about how it was Frosted Flakes bad health food is non-frosted flakes. So just regular frosted flakes or shredded mini wheat. So frosted mini wheat, terrible. Regular mini wheat, healthy.
Yeah.
It was just he brings such a like practical view of it. Like, really?
Okay, we have about 8 minutes for comments. Dennis said, "Howdy, Stauffers. You are
Hey.
fast approaching 5 years here.
Wow.
I cannot believe it. 272 minus 262 leaves about 10 more weeks. That's actually just 5 years of Keto Beyond the Couch.
That's
5
amazing.
years of never missing a Keto Beyond the Couch.
So thankful. Wow, thanks for being here.
The one thing that we have been consistent about. Oh, but which reminds me, next week we will be in Orlando with the Bear family.
We will. Shout out to Keto Chow and Salty.
Keto Beyond the Couch will be pre-recorded for next Monday.
Yeah.
So we're going up to hang out with the Bear family
Spring
for
break.
a few days. Yeah.
And it's an important one because 2 of their youngest children, twins, Max and Ruth, this is their last high school spring break.
Next one's from Christine. Said,
Hey,
I
Christine.
have realized due to my stall, I needed to move more. Well, I just got a rebounder and I've used it 2 days now and I'm loving it.
I
That's
love
awesome.
that you're loving it. And you know what? Whenever you are moving your body, working out with some new device or doing something, feel proud of yourself. Make sure you're stopping to look at that mirror and say, look at you, awesome sauce, slaying the day, getting your movement in. Like, we need to note how amazing we're doing getting this stuff in.
Let's see if we can blow through these real quick. Lynette,
Lynette.
question, were you able to conduct interviews of the speakers while in Vegas? We didn't do any videoing.
It was boom.
I wanted to make the conference for the conference and let the speakers, there were a lot of speakers, there were only a couple of breaks and everything was in one room. Dave and Sharon did such an amazing job putting it together, especially considering they threw it together so quickly. I was actually talking to Dave afterwards, and he was like, what do you think? And I'm like, you had more than 300 people here.
Yeah.
You had more than 300 people, and you threw this together in 3 months. What other conference has that many people? Other than Hack Your Health, which has been around for years, and Keto Palooza, and it's taken Autumn over 4 years to get that many people.
Yeah.
You're going to need a bigger venue next year.
That's right.
You're going to need a bigger room, Dave.
Absolutely.
Because they are going to have it next year. It was amazing. And if you didn't get a chance to go, but you want to donate, there are ways that you can donate to the Citizen Scientist Foundation, because the bottom line is we're the voice. Doctors aren't going to listen until they see it happening to us.
This has got to be boots on the ground.
They're being currently impacted by Big Pharma and Big Food. Next one is from Chris.
Hey, Chris.
CoSci video details. I'm going to edit the talks, drop them in a folder. Dave Feldman will be posting them sometime. I'm not sure when.
Thank you so much, Chris. I just want to thank you publicly for how you do your very best, number one, to make things flow, calmly and peacefully when you're at the conference, but also taking the time. That dude was like at his post
the whole time
for 2 straight days.
And his computer kept shutting down.
Yeah, amazing.
Diana, hello.
Hey,
what
Diana.
Products do you recommend for Keto Brains?
I actually have a pouch right there. It looks like this.
The main creamer.
Only big.
And then they have the coffee as well. We don't use the coffee that much because Nespresso is easier, but once in a while we do. But this goes everywhere, and we actually got a bunch of these for when we travel, because we're about to be on the road for a month.
Hoping to share them along the way.
Who said anything about sharing?
You're gonna share them.
Linda,
hey, Linda,
none of us new people understand what Mighty Networks even means. So Mighty Networks is a social media. So what you're going to do is on your computer, not on the app, go to your computer or a browser on your phone or your iPad, tablet, whatever. You're going to open up the browser like Chrome, Safari, whatever. You go to members.2crazyketos.com and you join there. Mighty Networks it's like a combination of Facebook,
Discord, instant
messenger, everything all in one
together.
So we have different groups in there. We can do live streaming in there. We can have courses in there. There is instant messaging chat, like the old AOL chat, kind of like what you see in Discord, and it's all wrapped up, but there is nothing like Facebook in there telling people, kicking people out because they use the word fat. There's no advertisements from outside companies or anything like that. We'll post some of our stuff in there, and it's a place to have community. And again, it is completely free. There are like a ton of rooms completely free where you can connect with people. But then we also have our paid part, which is really a way to support us financially. And then more and more, we're going live inside of those just to kind of hang out with our community. Next one, Trish said, Rachel,
Trish.
you are worth it. It's just for your humility alone.
Aw, I love you, Trish. Thank you. You bless my day.
Kat said, I never wanted to cruise. As a child, I used to have reoccurring nightmares of floating in the ocean next to a giant sinking ship.
I know there's some people that do. We have quite a few friends who are just afraid of water alone. Like, it's
like
a challenge.
Anthony DiPetrollo is afraid of it.
Yeah.
But I will say cruising is very, very safe. Like the last accident that I know of, major accident, was the Concordia. And that was like the captain did something and he hit like rocks underwater. And as far as falling overboard, you don't fall overboard. Nobody falls overboard on a cruise.
Yeah.
So nobody falls. You're going to see reports of man overboard, but nobody just accidentally falls overboard on a cruise.
Right.
They jump or they get pushed.
Yeah.
But
you hear what we're saying, right?
But yeah, so I would not worry about it if that's. I used to have that on bridges, and I still get that when I was
afraid of bridges.
When I was a kid, we lived in New York. And we lived on Long Island, and we would go upstate New York, and then we had family that lived in Staten Island, and so you always had to cross bridges. You had to cross like the Frog's Neck Bridge, the Verrazano Bridge.
Were afraid of collapsing?
I would have nightmares that the car would go over the edge, or that the bridge would fall apart, like from watching movies like Earthquake and stuff like that. And I would have those nightmares, and like that we were just like, the car was going to veer off. And so I was still like, when we do the flyover in I-95 down in Miami, like I get that. Like I don't have a fear of heights, but it's like this two-lane thing.
Interesting when we were on
so
the
I
cruise,
understand that.
And I was just trying to climb up the rock wall, and I was doing great. And then all of a sudden, I just became aware I'm really high. There wasn't anything different. I had the same halter on. Like everything was good and in place. Everything that got me up the first couple steps were still true as I went up further.
Wait till we jump out of a plane.
I'm just completely ignoring you. Are you not hearing that? You're not feeling the being ignored?
Trish said Oprah have used everything over the years, like most of us. Wouldn't you hate to have your weight loss journey on display?
Absolutely. And it's challenging with what we do.
And that is like when we put up the video about the scale. You guys were awesome, and then we started getting stragglers with a lot of hate that like we have serious mental issues. When you put yourself out on YouTube or Oprah on television about your weight loss,
right?
If you gain it, literally, we will get comments. You look like you've gained 6 inches. You look like you've gained 5 ounces. Like, I can't, it doesn't work. You're up 3 pounds. It is hard.
Well, and everybody, just because you put it out there, people are like, I have notes. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we got one of those. I have notes on what you're doing.
So I really do admire Oprah for being willing to say, like, this is important. Now how you achieve weight loss, that is something that if she's not asking me for my opinion. If she asked me about my opinion, I would share with her what I thought would be like a better weight loss strategy. But like, I do admire her for putting it out there, at least to the public conscience, that like we need to care about like our weight, as far as, are we a healthy size that allows us to accomplish all the things that we do that we find important in life?
And I'll leave you with this: weight loss or maintenance is not a flat number.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, like, I'm going to be 200 pounds and never, once I get my weight loss, and it's never going to deviate, it is. It's going to go up and down. It's supposed to.
Ooh, Donna Joe, I hope you do the Flow Rider.
GGB said, we went to the cherry blossoms yesterday in D.C. My goodness, they were magical. Hit off peak bloom while we were there. Jimmy John's unwitched for our picnic purpose.
I miss awesome. D.C. for that reason. It's gorgeous.
Mary said, I've lost 85 pounds since 2019.
Wow.
65 pounds on keto, 20 pounds on Mounjaro, but most importantly, my insulin use is down dramatically. I'm type 1 who was using nearly 300 units a day, now 35 to 60.
Way to go, awesome. Mary.
Dawn said, I find I tend to binge more with intermittent fasting, so I avoid it. I totally get where you're coming from, Andy. Yeah, and that is something that happens. Debbie said, looking to purchase Perfect Keto Collagen. It's telling me the Crazy Ketos 20 discount code has already been used. Yeah, it's a one-time use only. There's lots of things going on over there, so we really don't do much right now with them. Dawn said, my sleep apnea doctor said something similar to what Joe just said. I have a huge amount of sleep to make up for with 30 years of having to be up every 2 to 4 hours for round-the-clock
Oh,
care.
yeah. And that is something that it's like, you've trained yourself for 30 years. This is what sleep looks like. I mean, it's the same for you. You know, I had been getting like terrible sleep over the life of our marriage because I was trying to sleep like my husband. I was trying to stay in tune with you because I wrongly believed that that was an indicator of like a good, healthy marriage is that we got up the same time, we went to bed the same time, we ate the same time, we ate the same quantity, like all of those things. And so I had to break away from that. Well, that's like 20 years built into me. I sleep the way Joe sleeps. And so, of course, it has been really hard to like push through day by day to change things. I can remember the first time where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. I couldn't even start going to sleep because you weren't there. There's
Right.
like a warmth and a feel to him being next to me in the bed
I
that I had
don't
to get
sleep.
over.
When Rachel goes and visits the kids and sleeps at their house,
It's challenging.
or when like Peyton was born, I do not sleep if Rachel's not in the bed with me.
Because you're not used to it.
Last one, real quick, before we go. John said,
John.
when you say no products, does that include things like hot dogs, pepperoni, somewhat processed meats? I'm not a fan of many keto products other than keto chow. Now, Dr. Berry said over and over, you can do keto on hot dogs and mustard. When we say no products, we're talking about things that contain lots of erythritol, fibers,
Keto
things
bread,
like that. Keto breads, things like that.
tortillas.
If your meal is, I'm going to eat a package of hot dogs, have at it.
Yeah.
Get the cleanest ones you possibly can. Are there going to be a little bit more carbs in there? Yes. But if you eat your meal and your meal consists of 10 carbs from eating a package of hot dogs and then you're not eating anything else for another 7 hours, you're fine. So we're going to get off. We need to head down to Miami.
Keep us in
we
prayer.
got all this timing that needs to go. My assigner's calling me again. Maybe he's canceling one of my games. I don't know.
Who knows?
Keep us in prayers. We'll be back live on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We love you guys.
Bye.